Fashion is really not my passion. I do love food. I am an eater.
What are the staples that every woman should have in her closet?
Yay!
You can make a little mistake and ruin everything, right?
Absolutely. I will tell you two people that inspire me, and it's not because of what they wear, it's about how they wear it.
Who would you say is the most fashionable person in the world?
You know how my closet is set up? So I don't have to think.
Oh my God, smells so
I know.
insane. so good. We will cook in style with lots of patience. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. Today we welcome fashion queen Elysze Held to my kitchen. With over 30 years of styling CEOs and celebrities, she is here to tell us about her glamorous journey and share as all her stylish secrets. And I am also will be cooking your favorite risotto, the truffle risotto, but I will include a little bit of porcinis, which are my second favorite mushrooms, and they are so beautiful and delicious. And this dish is sophisticated as you are. So welcome, Elysze. Thank you for being here, and let me welcome you with some champagne.
What a way to start the day.
It's 12 o'clock. It's the champagne o'clock.
It's time for champagne.
Yep. So we will do this quickly.
I'm just looking at everything, and when Edvina called and asked if I would appear on the show and what was my heritage and what were my favorite foods.
Yes, exactly.
I said, well, I'm British and Italian. I don't know if you really want British food. Oh no, we're going to do Italian. I said, well, my
Sorry,
family...
British friends, but we're going all the way Italian.
Yeah, we have to do Italian. But I said Northern Italian, so something like a risotto. But then when I walked in, I mean, I have to tell you, I know she just said chic and fabulous and queen, but I have all of a sudden become 6 years old in my Nunu's kitchen.
Aww.
Just by what's here, I just got a chill saying that. Thank you.
And I got chills hearing that.
Because I used to watch him make risotto. And
that is so special. It makes me so happy.
Thank you so much.
There we go. Cheers.
Cheers.
To you and our great time together today. Cheers, Elysze.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to put this over here till after.
Yes,
so that I can focus on cooking.
Yeah, we'll focus on cooking and fashion. You know, it is super, super important for me to dress up when I start cooking, because I feel like if I roll out of my bed and look, you know, messy and just have my pajamas, I don't feel like I'm putting beautiful energy into my food. It is super important to me to dress up. And sometimes if I'm not in mood, I actually do that in purpose. I will go do my makeup, do my hair, dress up, and then my mood comes to me. I turn on the music, because when I cook with such attitude, when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. And I really live by that rule. And my food always flows that way. And do you agree with that?
I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. I came here, remember when I came here for your dinner party?
Yes.
And I went, oh my goodness, everybody's dressed so fabulously and the food is great. The food was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It was a special, special day. How did you start this wonderful career? I think it's every girl's dream, right? To be fashionable, and when you love fashion, but also actually to make a career out of it. How did you start?
I have made a career out of it, and
one big career.
A big career, and I must tell you, I lecture at a few of the schools, and I tell them the jobs that I've had are not available to you anymore. Right. They're not, and I don't mean that Instagram has changed our lives, but it has. It has, because I actually started in theater. And yes, and I was in costuming. And what happens is that in your life, if you're really lucky, and you get mentored by someone, and they say a few choice words of wisdom, the theater director actually told me is that pay attention to what you can really do. People say to me all the time, oh, fashion must be your passion. And I say, fashion is really not my passion. I do love food. I am an eater.
I love that.
Food.
You're a professional eater, right?
I'm a professional eater.
I'm a professional chef, so we'll collaborate here well, I think.
But I love ballet. I love art.
Oh, yes,
I love
absolutely.
everything that encompasses art. And you know, I mean, I've actually in my life have only taken photos of 3 dishes as they were put before me, only because they were just so beautiful. Even when I make a salad now, I color coordinate. It just comes naturally. So I get what you're saying about showing up in your own kitchen with your makeup on. But when I started, I really did have to pay attention in costuming on what I could do. And I am not a conceptual person. I'm not. I can't start from scratch. I cannot make something from scratch. I cannot design something from scratch. But at American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco, the director actually said, ask Missy Elysze there, because she can find anything. So they would say, we need the person traveling with the Louis Vuitton trunk from 1928. Well, even before Instagram, I would be looking for the Louis Vuitton trunk, and I would study it, and I would research it, and I would find out where I could get it, how to do it. And I worked on a few really famous plays. And I remember Sam Shepard. I worked on His Buried Child in San Francisco. And he even came out to the parking lot because he said, I want to meet this young girl, because I was sitting there beating the clothes with a rock to get that 1930s type depression look. So it's really understanding. So what I've done is translate that into private styling. So I try to really understand and translate maybe something that's on the runway and translate it to how it works for this person's body or their personality or their job.
Lifestyle. It's very
Their
important
lifestyle.
to feel. I know exactly what you're saying. I used to do makeup. I was a makeup artist, and you always give the person how much they can carry, they can handle. My job was actually to bring out the best features, but let the person shine, not the makeup to overpower the person. And I always felt who can handle how much, and that's how I built the trust with my clients. And because they were always scared, you know, when they go to some Sephora or other places, they would come out so crazy looking. They were always scared. So then I built that trust, right. And that was a very rewarding experience for me. Absolutely, yes. And before we continue, I want to start with our truffle risotto. Actually, guys, I have this really gorgeous pink rice. Look at it. I've never seen it before. But this is a gift from New York, and this is Italian rice for risotto. The reason it is pink, it's actually
lavender.
It's called pink, but that's what I was going to say. It is actually lavender, if you could see it. So it is black rice that has been processed through the stone, and when they remove that black husk, it becomes that beautiful lavender color. And I am so excited that we have this really
colorful,
fashionable rice too. So we will start by melting some butter in our stainless steel pan. And do not forget to swipe that QR code for the recipe. And it's all there. And I'm adding today porcini mushrooms because I want the risotto.
We love them.
We love them, and I want the risotto to be very, very flavorful and have texture. And porcini mushrooms are, of course, not in season, but I do get them flash freezed from a local gourmet store here in Miami called Marquis, and they are really, really fabulous. So beautiful. I'm going to chop them up a little bit. Saute on the pan and remove them and save them, and then we'll continue cooking with shallots and some butter, and and you'll see the rest of it. So right now I melted some butter, and I'm gonna chop up few. We don't want to overdo with the porcinis. They have very thick, good texture, because we also want to highlight that beautiful black summer truffle that I have here in that base. So how important is food for you, and do you think food connects fashion and style as well?
First, I want to say this is so authentic because people would say to me through the years, oh, you're Italian, you must have a million kinds of olive oil. I said, Northern Italian, it is done with butter.
Okay, yay, I'm happy.
We love butter.
Absolutely.
So yes.
Which part of Northern Italy your family is from?
My family's from Torino.
Torino, amazing. I've been to Northern Italy, but the Dolomites region, I haven't been to Torino. I think I passed by, but I haven't stopped there. We'll go back. It's a beautiful, beautiful experience. So,
back to the fashion.
Yes, please.
Yes, I think it's because fashion is so visual, and it's one of our great senses. I mean, we can see, we can taste, music we can hear, but fashion, what we were talking about earlier was that what you wear is really the first impression that people have about you. The very first thing. How you're dressed is your message to the world.
I think it is so important, and I think the new generation became kind of like sluggish with their style. I think it is very important because the way you present yourself is how you respect yourself and how you want the world to react on you, right? Absolutely. And I think and then you get kind of upset when you look, absolutely messy, and you get upset that you don't get accepted. Right. But you have to understand this is part of life, looking just clean and, put together. It's not about dressing up in a very expensive brand clothing, absolutely, right? And I'm a type of person who likes finding some unique brands that are small, because I don't want to wear what everybody else wears.
Thank you.
I am opposite of that. You would never see Van Cleef's, Hermes on me because it's not me. I don't care. I don't care what they cost, if there's a thing, but for me it's about representing myself. And yes, you express yourself through style and fashion, right? And so is there some sort of recommendation, advice for the youth, for the world, how to make the best out of, how they can actually create that style, not just fashion. Fashion is not style, right?
Well, I think that I was a guest on a podcast, and I did say, just like offhand, well, anybody with a credit card can be fashionable, but that is not style. Style is exactly what you said a few moments ago, putting yourself together. I gave a talk for Women of Tomorrow. I was a mentor, I am a mentor in some of the area schools for girls. Women of Tomorrow mentors young girls. I go in, I tell them, this is how you dress. Actually, this is how you dress for your prom. This is what you dress to go on a job interview. And one of the young girls said, yeah, but look at how expensively you're dressed. Now, I was ready for that. And I said, my jacket, my t-shirt, and my pants are all Old Navy. My shoes are Keds, okay? I look cool. They're little platform Keds, so they look cool. Now you, and I pointed to the girl, are wearing an Abercrombie & Fitch, the newest sweatshirt, that was $90. I am head to toe, I am absolutely head to toe, $30. And then I pulled out this thing, and here's my accessory. It's an ostrich feather scarf that I got for $5 somewhere. So the whole idea of style is really to train your eye. When I shop with people, I don't say, don't look first at how that fits you. Look at your eyes in the mirror, and then you see, how do you feel? How do you feel in that?
It is so important, actually, the way you dress. I usually dress to the occasion.
Right.
It is also very important to understand where you're going, how appropriate you are dressed for a particular occasion. If you're going to a beach event, you're not supposed to dress like me right now. It makes zero sense, right? It's a very elegant and very more like going to a nicer restaurant or event that is maybe political or whatever. But you always have to dress to occasion, to the weather. Oh my God, it smells insane. So good. And That is very important, and the clothing always makes you feel comfortable and confident. When you feel confident, you know how to carry yourself, and it is very important to feel yourself and do not, restrict. Do not follow the trends. To me, it's about following what works for you and for your body, right?
Right.
It's so important that I see so many people dressed completely inappropriate to their body. It's not about the age. Sometimes I see 20-year-olds dress insane and it doesn't work, but the 40-year-old would wear that and she would look more elegant because it's also the body type. You have to know your body type. Can you give us some tips and advices how to find that, and how when someone, not everyone has that, understanding.
Right.
How do they discover that?
Well, again, it's really so much about following your eye. Just pay attention. If you see,
you could train that, right? You could learn.
That's what I do.
Okay.
I train. That's why I give a lot of I give seminars here and there, and I try to teach people to focus on what makes them feel good. But wait, I did go shopping with this woman, and she needed a jacket. She wanted a tuxedo jacket. And I said, beautiful to go with your gowns. You show up, you have it over your shoulder. It's so chic. It's very French looking. We'll do that. So she says, well, I might get cold during the night. I want to put it on. So she puts on this beautiful tuxedo jacket, and she starts going like this. I said, what are you doing? She says, that's what my husband does when he tries on. I said, is your husband playing football in a tux jacket? I don't know. But I said, you're not going to do that when you're at a black tie, you're wearing over your shoulder, you're not going to look like you're going to punch somebody in a jacket. It's not about how you want to be wearing the jacket. You don't want the jacket to wear you. That's what I said every time that I got asked to be on one of the Oscars, the Oscars commentary. I'd say, let's move on because the dress is wearing her. Obviously, this was a freebie from the org. They paid her to wear it. I don't know. But this is not meant for her. The dress is overwhelming for her. And I even said it when I was a guest just this past season. Yes. The young girl, we won't say who, but that won the Best Actress. She's 26 years old. She was dressing in, the highest end designers, but everything looked a little matronly on her. You're young, you're gorgeous, you're fabulous. Get out there and experiment.
Right, and accentuate that beauty, that youth.
Accentuate that long dark hair, everything about you says youth and talent. Just you are the only person on this stage that should be a little funky, But no, they had a proper, look at who the person is. That's what used to be fun about dressing celebrities in the 80s.
You've been dressing so many celebrities. Do you have a favorite celebrity that you really loved working with? I don't know if you're allowed to say any of that, but
I have had. I don't even know if my NDAs have run out. But I really.
Do you have like a big stack of them in your safe?
I will say I'll tell you a couple of stories, but they wouldn't be. They would be really, I can't mention names, but I remember shopping with a very famous TV actress in New York. And we were shopping for her college daughter, to go away to college. And we're at the discount places. We are at like Century 21 and this is, way downtown on Wall Street. And some woman walks up to us and she says to me, oh, is that so-and-so, da-da-da? And I look at her, I go, no, it's not. And the woman says in a very loud voice, oh, I didn't think so. She's so much older.
Oops.
And it's like,
awkward.
Awkward. And I went, okay, she's right there. She's so much older. But that's okay. People really think that we are, just by them being a celebrity and us not, that we have a right to say anything. But people have come up to me and they actually just this past our Basel time and said, I know that you work with this one person. You have to tell me what she's like. I said, as a stylist, she's very difficult. And they said, why? And I said, because she knows she has to go to this Grammy Award or this or that. She really doesn't want to do it. She wants to be with her kids. She wants to be with her dog. And the other thing is, I've got 50 dresses to try on her, and she's saying, would you like something to eat? Would you like, and I'm saying to my assistants, you can't eat, we're dressing her. You know, stop eating us.
I bet you've experienced so many crazy things. Is there one of the craziest stories, if you could give us some fun facts? And before we continue, I want to tell you guys, I removed the porcinis, they're ready, but I don't want to overcook them, so I removed them, and I cooked already the shallots in the butter. Now I'm going to throw our beautiful lavender rice, and I'm actually so excited to see how this is going to turn out when it's cooked, because I have no idea how it's going to be, right? Because I've never cooked with that type of rice.
It's amazing.
It's so gorgeous.
It's such a beautiful color right now.
How cool is that? And this rice is I've never seen before, and this is for you, for my fashion queen. That's so exciting for me that you get that experience, and I am getting it together with you for the first time. And since I have champagne, you know, why not? We'll just do champagne instead of wine. It's always better with champagne.
Always better with champagne.
So we coat, oh my God, look, it's becoming, the liquid from champagne became pink.
Well,
do you see that?
It's pink.
Now it's pink.
That's
it changed. It changed the color.
Every spring color in Miami that you can do. Here we have off-white.
Wow, this is gorgeous.
We have off-white from the shallots, right?
Yes.
And then we have the purple rice, lavender rice, and a pink sauce.
And it's a pink sauce. And I have here a really delicious, beautiful chicken stock that I cooked from scratch. I always have that frozen in my freezer. And I'm gonna start adding our liquid and just stirring. This is all about patience and style.
Patience
so
and style.
We will cook in style with lots of patience.
It's funny that you would say patience. Patience has a lot to do with fashion also, because it takes it takes a while to really understand what looks good on you. That's why I actually went from, I still do editorial styling, but just with certain editors. But at the same time, it takes a long time to really understand the translation. Like for an editorial, I mean, it would be, here we would have a Prada skirt, and then I might put a Vuitton skirt right over it. And then I might put something else over it, and I might take something from my closet, like that ostrich feather, and tie it around the shoulder. I might just grab a lace bow and put it in the back. Now, what's happened a lot with editorial is it's very hard to get the merchandise from from PR. That's who has it. You know, the show goes on, and then they're really on the fashion shows. That is something that is made for the runway, for the model that is, you know, 6 feet tall. Okay? But just taking that, and then once you see it in the store, you know, or on an editorial, I have to say, okay, I get the measurements of it, because I can't have it sewn up. I can't hem it for the model that we're using. It's all about, it's kind of all, it's not fake, but it's not exactly what you see is what you get.
Oh yes, of course. I can understand that. When it's editorial or fashion, you'll have to work things out, right?
Exactly.
Back to the craziest, wildest story. I can't wait to hear that. You're not getting off.
Okay, I actually was in Miami, and I got this call to work with this very famous movie star who was also a rapper. Oh, okay, cool. And so I go to his hotel. He read a lot about me. He heard about me. He knew I work with a lot of men, and he said, I really want to work with you. I came through with, you know, I showed up like I was making a PowerPoint presentation, and I had it copied, and I said, and I had all these looks that he had. And what I did is I took a magic marker, just like I would with a private client, and I wrote out, crossed out this. I said, this you never should be wearing again. This you never should be wearing again. This, and I said, if you're getting, you know, I'm I don't know if you expected a yes man, you're so fabulous, but that's not what you're paying me for. And anyway, so we're sitting there going through everything, and he is in a tank top, like a sweats outfit, with basketball shorts. Okay?
Yeah.
Just sitting there stopping. He goes, okay, let's go for it. I said, you're not going out with me wearing like that. He goes, what? I said, you need to change.
Okay. Did
He said, really? He said, I go out, you know, he said, I just was in Paris. I was like that. I said, I know, but it's really not a good look because you're walking in dressed like, I go like this, excuse me, but a 12-year-old. So they're going to bring you funky, funky, funky clothes.
Oh, this is
and
so
you're telling me
interesting.
that what you want to do is you want to have a little bit of like an Italian sprezzatura. And sprezzatura means, you know, to dress with a soft elegance, you know, effortless. That's where the term effortless comes from. So he said, yeah, that's exactly what I want. I said, exactly. So you're telling me how much you love cashmere sweaters, but you can't wear striped basketball shorts and expect them to not bring you, you know, I go like this, rapper clothes. We're not street style shopping.
But this is so interesting.
And he
that
changed.
This is so interesting what you just said, that the people would bring out the style of clothing he is wearing.
Yeah.
I haven't thought of it. It's such
Yes.
a brilliant thing that, you know, with your expertise, you know how it works. This is really cool. So did he change? How was it?
Changed. He put on, it was like, I didn't even think he had to go. He put on jeans and like a golf shirt type thing. And he was so respectful, but it's really because one of the things is that, you know, this is my job. This is my job. So I put that out to him that you are hiring me for this. Exactly. This is my job. You're just, you have your job.
Yeah, this is the thing, you know, that if you don't know how to do something, you can go and find an expert. And,
right.
And thankfully, we live in a world that people have expertise in many things, and fashion is a huge part of it. You know, you don't need to dress and not knowing what's going on. Actually, what are the staples that every woman should have in her closet?
Actually, I'm so glad you asked that because I do.
We all need help.
I am working on an article right now. I will even say for who. It's for Courant magazine, which is an art and culture magazine in South Florida. And they're doing a travel issue. And my article is on what to pack. You're going, say,
oh, that's another thing, to pack.
But it's really what is easier for you. And it's the same principles as how you set up your closet. You know how my closet is set up? So I don't have to think.
That's incredible.
Yes.
I need a tour.
Well,
I could learn from you.
That's my closet. And when I set up somebody's closet, I say, we are setting up your closet according to your life.
Beautiful.
Not according to, you know, she had her closet done. I'll just go off on a tangent for 1 second because it is a funny story. But this new client had her closet done by a closet organizer. Everything was done according to color. Everything was white according to color. And I said, like, I back off and I look at everything and I said, you must work very hard to get dressed. She said, why? I said, because you're going to a cocktail party. So you're looking for your, and I pull it out of the closet, your white, beautiful sequin dress that is over here with the white linen that you can't even see. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do your life. This is what you wear to a cocktail party. This is what you wear to a black tie. And I'm pulling the shelves out and this is what you wear to here. This is, you walk in the closet, what do you do the most of? And she goes, well, she was a very well-known realtor. She says, well, I show a lot of houses. Okay, so do you wear a jacket with it? Yes, I do. All right, so here, and then we work with, are you left-handed or right-handed?
Oh, wow.
Okay, here, this is your reaching up. And so everything in your closet will be from left to right because you walk in and you're going to grab it with your right hand.
This is so fabulous. What a great tip.
We want to make life easier. Life needs to be easier.
Yes, that way, when you have everything organized, you don't think too much, and you already know this is your day, this is your night, this is your job,
Exactly.
this is, you know, all the things, and that makes a lot of sense instead of just color coordinating it, right?
I'm color coordinator.
And back to the recipe quickly. So I'm just adding our broth and keep stirring. This is what I'm doing. Like I said, just patience. I added some salt and some freshly grounded black pepper, and I will adjust that as I go. I don't want to put too much salt because salt slows down the cooking process.
Oh,
so we want.
I never knew that. Of course I wouldn't.
We want to continue without salt until I'm ready to add. And also a little tip about mushrooms. When you buy fresh mushrooms, store them in paper bags. That way the mushroom lasts longer. The reason is because mushrooms are like sponges. They absorb a lot of water. And when you leave it in a plastic bag, it creates a moisture inside and your mushrooms go bad. So paper bags are the best, and do not ever wash the mushrooms. Just most mushrooms are not really dirty unless you really pick them from the forest. And if it's porcinis, it's also you just use a paper towel and wash it off, because if you wash them, you ruin the texture of the mushroom. You can never achieve any more that crispiness and stuff. But if you had to, I had this mushrooms that I called chanterelles, and they came super, super dirty. I washed them, I had to, because I could not just rub. And then I just put them on a sheet of bacon sheet and throw it in the oven and dry them, and the flavor became very concentrated even more. So, and that's how I saved the texture of the mushroom. But you got the point, right? So just store them in a paper bag, and that's the best way. We are keeping stirring here, and it looks really nice.
It looks amazing.
Almost ready.
Well, here's the funny thing. I feel like I am in a designer showroom right now and watching them create something, because I don't
taste it like that.
I don't know if you can see this, but it really has completely changed
the color.
Whatever you are manifesting in here. It is just like completely different than when we started. It's a different color. It's a
so
different
interesting.
texture.
That's how
it's
cooking is
phenomenal.
magic.
Cooking is magic.
And this is what's happening, magic right in front of our eyes. Elysze, who would you say is the most fashionable person in the world? If it's even possible to say that, but is there someone that always inspired you?
I will tell you two people that inspire me, and it's not because of what they wear, it's about how they wear it.
I love that.
You know, it's how they wear it. Makes a lot of sense. First, I love Kate Blanchett.
Oh yeah, she's fabulous.
In terms
so
of celebrities, and Tilda Swinton. I love them both because what they do is they are consistently coming out with something that is extraordinary, and they respect the designers that they work with. It truly is a respect thing. Now, the other person that I respect a great deal is Kate Middleton. You know, she will eventually be. It's a tough one, but she is always, and you said the word earlier, appropriate. She is always appropriate. She knows this is what I'm here for. This is how I'm going to act. This is how I'm going to dress. You know, and none of it every bit of it looks authentic. Everything she does is authentic, and it's so geared to her. The way everything fits, her coats, her clutches, her shoes, everything works, and that's the most important thing. Make sure
she has a great stylist. Huh?
She has a great stylist. She has a great stylist.
Yeah, you are so right. You have to understand your lifestyle. This is her lifestyle. Living in a royal family lifestyle is a completely different thing, and you really have. You can make a little mistake and ruin everything, right?
Absolutely.
It's a very dangerous path.
Absolutely.
Do you have a favorite designer for yourself that you love and you would always wear?
You know, there's certain designers that I gravitate towards, and it really has more to do with the fabrication, the cuts.
Yes.
Now, what I just want to say one thing about when we're talking about designers and what's in style at the moment is that there's a whole thing happening right now on designer musical chairs. I mean, the Gucci designer went from here to here. It was Balenciaga. He goes over to Gucci. The Gucci goes over to Valentino.
It's a mess.
So the Alexander McQueen goes over to Givenchy. Now, what happens is, what it means for me as a stylist is confusion.
That's what I was going to say.
Because, for example, one of the things that looks great on me that I love are the Sarah Burton, Alexander McQueen jackets and white blouses, which every woman should have in her closet. A good tailored jacket, perhaps a white blouse, wonderful jeans, you know, and when you're getting jeans, look at a three-way mirror. Look from the side, look from the back, look at the thing, or pants. Look, you know, there's women that say, oh my God, these pockets make my hips. I have maybe a dozen pair of pants. None of them, all of them have pockets. Every one of them are sewn shut.
Yeah, sometimes you have to just
sew
close
them
it.
shut because if you love the cut of the pant from the front, you do the best you can with what you got.
And don't you agree you always have to, for the most part, adjust clothing to your body because
Absolutely.
because not, you know, nobody really makes clothing just for, there is no standard figure, right? Everyone has their shape. There are some, you know, like we know the pear, the more shoulders, all of that, but for the most part you have to adjust, and it's okay. It's something that, you know, don't just give up because something, you know, the strap is too long, or it's for me length is always long, of course. Yeah, that is a
We're
normal
both the
thing.
same height.
Yeah, pretty much. And I like what you said about the blazer and the white shirt, the elegant white shirt. There's a blouse and the button down. I think if you buy something cheap, it actually does look cheap.
It does
For
look
that,
cheap.
you have to invest because you don't need millions of those. You need a couple of good quality, and the way they look on you and the way they feel is just so chic and luxurious, right?
And the important thing is, you know how you get the chic and luxurious? You take care of your clothes.
Very smart.
I have actually worked with people that I say, you know, if you're going to throw the clothes on the dressing room floor, how are you treating them at home? A woman said to me, I have a full-time housekeeper. I said she could be doing a lot of other things, you know, for one thing. But for you, don't just hang it up. It takes 2 seconds. Hang it up, fold it up, hang it up. And it's really knowing, you know, you want to be able, yes, you'll have her re-iron it or something, but at the same time, it's a respect for what you paid for. It's a respect for what you have, you know, and with the things that every woman should have, just that. I say high heels, maybe
Always.
ballet slippers, sandals, have at least 5 pairs of outstanding shoes.
I don't like ballet shoes. I feel like I look terrible.
Well, I will tell you one of the
Please
things.
tell
I am
me.
not a ballet shoe person, but I do
Okay.
have 2 pairs. But what I've had to do is put back to like an alteration, put pads in the sides because otherwise they'll buckle. So, you know, I want to wear them now and then, and you know why I want to wear them? Because when I wear high heels and I'm just carrying a purse that's a little big, I'll throw a pair of ballet slippers.
For comfort, right?
For comfort.
Because you have such long hours in your day.
Yes.
Running around, styling, and going to fashion shows and events,
Absolutely.
you need to be comfortable. And of course, you can't wear sneakers.
Can't wear sneakers.
Yes. So.
Can't wear sneakers.
But I never looked good in ballet shoes. I feel like the most asexual shoes.
Actually,
Sorry, I said it.
you know, wait. I was at a hair salon and this beautiful young girl was sitting next to me, and I had on these Dries Van Noten, like platform Mary Janes that were the most comfortable shoes in the world. But they were, you know, they were flat formed, so to speak, but they were, you know, they had a strap over them, they were Mary Janes, and they were this high. So I'm sitting there, and you know, she looks at me, she goes, you know what? I just love the ugly shoe trend. And I said, well, they're not ugly to me. These are not ugly to me. Maybe you're a Louboutin girl, but I'm not. So, and I love me some high heels. I wear them.
I am a high heel girl, and I will always wear high heels. I'm very fluent in my high heels. I even cook in my high heels.
Fluent in your high heels.
I am. I really am. I'm fluent in my kitchen and in my high heels. I can say that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Our risotto is actually ready. It's looking good.
I'm so excited.
Added some salt, and I added our porcini mushrooms back. Now I'm gonna add just a little bit more butter.
Yay!
And a little bit of cheese. I don't want to do too much cheese. Why? Because I feel like our beautiful truffle would be too overpowered by cheese. Cheese can be severe. So I'm gonna just add a touch of cheese, okay? You guys do what you want, but I would recommend to go a little low on the cheese, okay? I have here beautiful Parmesan and our grater. So I'm just gonna add it right now. Not on top, okay? I want to kind of incorporate it more so into the risotto, because on the top we're gonna have our precious truffle.
I was in Italy and my husband asked for a seafood risotto. He asked for some cheese.
Oh, did they throw him out?
He wasn't really getting it that, I had ordered the seafood risotto first. And the waiter looks at him and he goes, no. Excuse
this
me?
is so Italian.
No.
That's why I love Italians.
No.
They're just so...
No.
They stick to their culture.
But I just thought, I want you to remember that. But the cheese with the truffle,
it's going to be
what
too
is
much.
the most important thing? The truffle.
Right now, the most important thing is truffle. I want, like I said, the texture from the... So better just put more butter.
Just more butter.
And I have this beautiful, beautiful plate that I'm gonna serve for you, and I want you to try now and tell me how do you like this delicious risotto. And I love the color, right? Isn't it beautiful?
The color, the texture though. It's funny because people always say to me, well, you wear black all the time.
I think I know your favorite color. It's black.
It's black, but I learned it's really my roots because I learned it in theater.
Tell me a little bit more about
because
that. What
in theater, you don't want to stand out. When you're rushing on stage to fix somebody's outfit, you don't want to stand out. That's really how the whole thing of black came into the fashion business. Because when clients say to me, oh, you always wear black, I say, better that I get color for you. Better that, and I do it because I'm really used to it. But what I love about black is that I try different textures.
You sure do, and I love.
Look at this texture.
No matter that you're wearing black, you always have different style. You have. I looked at your photos, and I really enjoy that you stick to your true self.
True self.
But you're always creative with the way you dress, and I love your fashionable and bold accessories. Those are wonderful, and
I love
think,
accessories.
Actually, a lot of women, I have my friends that are really scared of accessories. They don't know how to use them, and a couple of times, I got some gifts for them, and they're like, "Oh wow, actually, it looks really good." Like my boring white blouse with this beautiful necklace now looks so unique, and they started feeling
unique is the perfect word. Yes.
So don't be afraid to. Sometimes some accessories could look really cheesy,
right? Exactly.
But there's now everything is available online. You could learn. You could find fashionable stylists like our fabulous Elysze and learn from her. And this is you also give speeches and you write articles, columns. There's so much that you could just learn. It's always there for you. By the way, what's your most stylish restaurant that you've ever been to? When I'm ready, I'm gonna put the truffle now. Look at my truffle. Okay, smell it first. Oh. Well, it's the summer truffle. Of course, I prefer the white winter truffles.
Once again, the texture.
Oh. The texture is really cool. It's so beautiful. I went to a truffle festival in Alba, and I learned a lot about truffles. So what I didn't know, that, guys, I'm gonna disclose this for you. Anything that is actually in the jars, all of those truffle, sauces, oils, it's all fake.
Yes.
None of it is real because there's not enough truffle to actually, harvest and create this kind of product. So they create the flavor and use different types of mushrooms to make it look like it, but they're not. How crazy is that? Something I learned. So here is your beautiful truffle risotto.
But it's like fabric. Look at this, because you can tell it's the real deal. This is the real
it's so
thing.
pretty, right?
Oh, it's so pretty.
Look at our gorgeous risotto. And here's your fork. Taste it.
I can't wait.
I hope you like it. I have my guests enjoying their food. That makes me really, really happy.
Oh my goodness. This is amazing.
How interesting is this rice? Does it taste any different? Let's see.
It actually has sort of a nutty flavor to it.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Very nice. Really beautiful. And if you hosted your dream dinner party, who would you invite? What would you wear? And what
Well,
would
you.
Thank you.
What I would wear, you know, I will tell you what I would wear. I actually did host something, and I wore something very comfortable and very fluid. Okay, it was actually sheer.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, it was, but it was covered up here and here.
Right.
Sort of like I have to say, she's got this Prada skirt on that is amazing.
I'm gonna show you a little bit of it here.
But it really has this, you know, sheer silk, like it's a fabulous.
I love
it's
this
a
skirt.
mini skirt, but then it's a long skirt.
Actually, it comes with a slip underneath that is this color, nude.
Oh no! Don't ever wear that with it.
But not with this. I would wear it with the same color silk blouse.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I think it would look.
That would look
will be
great.
a little. This is funky. That would be more elegant and more classy.
But it's the combination of the fabric.
Yeah, I love the fabric.
I love
it's
it.
so cool, right?
I love
Thank
it.
you so
I had
much.
to say it. You know, you can't see it, but it's a great skirt. But I would wear something that was comfortable, that really that I could move around in.
You are fabulous, and I
Thank
want to
you.
thank you so very much for this wonderful chat together. And I learned so much from you, and I'm very, very, very happy that you came, and I appreciate and I admire you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm going to just finish this whole plate right now. I'm
Please
telling
do,
you.
please do. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
And thank you so much for watching.
Thank
Please
you.
come back next Thursday, and we will have another guest. And if you have any questions, you can always comment. Don't forget to subscribe to my page and also follow Fabulous Elysze for your fashion tips and all the interesting information that she's bringing and all this beauty to the world.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
See you all
you.
soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. You are so wonderful.
I so enjoyed this.
Me too.